Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know my wrath. My blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your hold or two. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Welcome to ArchRivals Football. Here is your starting lineup. Number 20, Darnell the Playmaker Salins. Number 94, Alex the Bearman Alcazaz. Number 24, Ricky Litwinkowicz. This show is sponsored by Raz Energy, DreamControllers.com, and Steiner Sports. ArchRivals Football is a Pain Train Pipe Bomb production. Welcome everybody to ArchRivals Football Season 3. We are live today on Saturday, 9/11. And we have a great show for you today. We got our mainstay on the show, Alex the Bear Man Alcazaz on the mic.
How's it going, everybody?
And we have a special guest today on the show who hopefully will be a mainstay at some point from the KNK Sports Show, Mr. Kurt Valenti.
Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate you inviting me to join the show today. Bear, how are you? And happy NFL. Let's go, boys.
So
Let's do it.
it's actually kind of an honor and a privilege today to actually be doing a show on 9/11. Being here in New York, the morning of 9/11, it was mass chaos throughout the entire day. A lot of my friends, family, people that I knew in 9/11 were at the building or at the buildings, experienced a lot of chaotic stuff. So if anybody would like to say any nice for 9/11, go right ahead. Okay, silence. That's cool.
I mean, it has affected me, so bad too, because I'm a very big dissent, and I'm a Muslim, so in my case, the hatred, the bigotry, it's just even today, it still hurts because I'll still receive death threats with Islamophobic comments, so it's painful. It really is.
Kurt, anything? Any words for the 9/11?
Again, I remember, just I was starting. It was actually the first day in one of the high schools that I started working at, and I just remember the chaos and the confusion, and it's beautiful. I mean, Bear, again, that's just, sorry to hear that, and probably not understanding how you feel about that. So again, that is not right for you to have to feel like that. But it's really nice to say with the college football today and the Major League Baseball. My sister and her boyfriend are actually going Yankee Mets tonight. So to see all these beautiful tributes, but it's never going to be forgotten and should never be forgotten.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the kind words, Kurt. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well,
Absolutely.
I know on Wednesday and Thursday you guys did the moment of silence for 9/11. However, I kind of decided that I'm going to go a little bit more military than I've seen anybody else really do on any shows this week, or but in memorandum of that, we are going to do a little bit of a 21 gun salute. I feel like that was the way throughout the NFL season a few years ago that they had done it, even after the games after 9/11, which were, I believe, like a week and a half afterwards, where they started the actual NFL season with the full slate. There was no Thursday night game or anything, but going to give them a little bit of a 21 gun salute on behalf of everybody here at Pipe Bomb, everybody here at K&K, Stuff About Sports, Give Us a Shot Network, the Playmakers blogs, all of our shows. We have like 15 plus. So here's a little bit of a 21 gun salute for everybody. And also in tribute today, besides the 21 gun salute, we also have substituted the ArchRivals logo with a Pentagon-shaped American flag, the Twin Towers, and it's saying "Never Forget." That event always will never be something that is out of my mind at all. I'll be honest with you, but we have football. That's going to be our saving grace for the weekend as we celebrate the biggest part of NFL season, Week 1. There are news and notes all over the place. I really want to touch a little bit based on T.J. Watt. Now, there were a lot of different rumors going around about T.J. that he had not signed the extension, that he really just got pissed off at his agent and went above and beyond past him and went and signed a $112 million extension. I'll start off with Kurt on that one.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny when, you read and the brother JJ Watt, the bigger name, the bigger star, and when somebody tweeted the other day of the contract that he's just signing, how much more money he's going to be making more than JJ Watt. It's kind of a little mind-boggling. But hey, you know what? He's one of the best defensive players in football. They're one of the best defensive teams in football, and listen, I'm a real believer in defense wins championships. And if I have a stud defensive player, you know what? I'm gonna pay him. I mean, I'd rather pay a stud defensive player that money than a mediocre quarterback crazy money. I'd rather go with the stud defensive player. So hey, good for TJ Watt.
Alex?
Kurt is absolutely right. When it comes to like the best player on defense, in TJ Watt's case, he's the golden child of the Steeler defense. So if he's not there, then the Pittsburgh defense, without its centerpiece, dominoes fall. So so the fact that they got this done, I mean, I think the contract is 100% confirmed by now. I mean, even TJ Watt had a quote on it. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it seems that the matter is resolved. So now in TJ Watt's case, you got to step on the gridiron. You got to deliver.
Well, I said it kind of on Tuesday a little bit when he had still not signed the contract with about 6 days to go before the season started. He is a stud piece on that defense. And Pittsburgh's going into a game against Buffalo where they're going to need as much pass rush as possible. And if Pittsburgh really didn't get that deal done, that puts them in more of a world of hurt because your key piece, that pass rush against that offensive line, is definitely needed. So it's kind of good now that he got the deal done, but also at the same rate, you're putting a price tag on a guy that you're going to be able to keep for a longer amount of time instead of him going out on the free agency market and probably even getting more money than what he got for the extension.
Oh, totally. And Lars on the chat. How you doing, Lars?
We also did have a lovely flurry of injuries in Baltimore, and this kind of had
Oh boy.
this had kind of piqued my my little bit of an interest on that Monday night game against Vegas. But they lose a starting running back and a starting corner. Luckily enough, New Orleans had gone out and released Latavius Murray, but then the Baltimore Ravens just go and swoop him up big time.
Well,
Anyway.
the Baltimore really just, after you lose an important player, especially in the running game, if there's a good free agent out there, if he's out there, no questions asked. You just get him. Okay, because there's a saying, drastic times calls for drastic measures, right? And the Ravens are in that situation. I mean, it's bad enough you lose two important players, in the same practice with torn ACLs.
Yeah, and you know what? And now it's the second running back. I mean, Edwards, obviously, J.K. Dobbins was the first domino to fall. They did sign Le'Veon Bell. He's on their practice squad. I'm not sure if they're going to bring him up for Monday night. Like you guys said, Latavius Murray. But listen, it's going to be just more pressure on Lamar Jackson. That running game, it's going to be hard. I mean, Latavius Murray is a nice player, but just to plug and play either him or Bell in on Monday night, pressure is going to be on them. And I'm like you, Ricky, a little bit. Raiders at home on a Monday night in Vegas. That's an interesting game.
And the more interesting is that the NFL went again and did it this year, that they're not doing the doubleheader on Monday night. So instead of now it just being like those two games, like you may get tired out after the first one, and then a lot of people here on the East Coast are watching that game and they're going to bed at that point. So like a lot of people are going to be like, wow, like we really would have loved to have seen that Raider game, but now it's on at an actual decent time. It's going to have a ton more eyes on it than anything else. And one of the things that I've always said that with Lamar Jackson, first off, is if you really are banking on him to try to be a pocket passer, you have to have that run game. And if you don't have that run game to take that balance off, Lamar Jackson's going to be running around like crazy.
Totally agree.
And you expect a lot of teams are going to be looking to do that run game more than anything because, again, it gives you a little bit better for the play action, which probably would be better for Lamar in the first place if you expect him to stay in the pocket. But again, those are two big hits right off the bat for the season. You lose the corner for probably the whole season. It's just bananas. Like it's practice though, and guys are getting killed. So
yeah. Ricky, real quick, Ricky, what you mentioned about the Monday night second game, I'm probably the happiest person around that they canceled that because for the past two seasons, my Broncos have been that 10:30 second game, and it's been a nightmare trying to get up on that Tuesday morning, starting 10:30 on the East Coast.
We welcome in Mr. Alex Fleming. Alex, what's up?
How you doing? I was going to tune out because somebody was talking about the Broncos who are going to be pathetic again, but it's all good. I understand. You got to do what you got to do. That's your team.
That's it.
Hey, I just want to be in and out, give you my picks because I got to work because, brothers like me, we don't have silver spoons.
Yes,
and we have 20,000 followers and all that garbage. So let me give you my picks and I'll leave you alone for today.
All righty. Cool, my man. Okay. We're going to run down some of the picks. We'll recap the game from Thursday at the end.
Ooh, Tampa.
Yes, Tampa. So the first game we got on the slate for the weekend is going to be Jacksonville versus Houston. Alex, you have the Bearman, you have the line for that?
Oh, yes, I do. The line of that is that Jacksonville is actually favored by 6. I think they blow out those Houston Texans. That's a dark spot right now and a cloud of the country, and we don't need that. And Trevor Lawrence is going to bring some sunshine to the Jaguar faithful. I got them winning by 13. Go for the over-under of 10.
Okay. Kurt?
Yeah, I'm with them. I think Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. I think Houston's in a lot of trouble, even though they're on the road. But I just think Trevor Lawrence, game one, is going to start his career off right. And I'll take them. I'll take Jacksonville by 10.
Okay, Alex, Bearman.
Fair.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with you, gentlemen. Trevor Lawrence coming in, there's all the hype, all the potential, and knowing the situation that the Houston Texans are in, the fact that the whole situation involving their quarterback, right now, as far as I know, there's nothing really positive going on with the Texans, and there's a bit more, and the fact that there's more positivity with Jacksonville that's something you don't see often. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence is gonna have a good day. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will steamroll the Texans.
Well, the Vegas line that we have is for the betting insider. The actual line that I have going right now is Jacksonville -3. So I'm not seeing this as probably going to be one of those games where you're going to see like you did on Thursday night. It's going to be it's going to be kind of a sluggish type game because I'm as much as I want to put faith in Lawrence currently right now, I see both teams being really kind of sloppy. I have Jacksonville winning, but I don't think by anything more than 6. So I'm probably going to go with maybe a 4-point thing. It's going to be Jacksonville covering, and I think I'm going to go with the under of the. Let's see, what is it? It's 45.5. I'll bump that to 46.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the under. I don't think both teams are going to score more than 22 points.
I want you to invite me on the show next week so I can laugh at you and say, eat your words.
Well, Alex, I did make an extremely bold prediction on Tuesday. I actually took Dallas taking the points, but I did pick Tampa straight up, and I was watching that game throughout, and I got to tell you, I was extremely happy with the pick because I knew it was going to be pretty much balls to the wall on that game. So I actually, if I would have had a bet, I probably would have won about $1,000. All right, next game up on the list is going to be the LA Chargers versus the Washington Football Team. But if you're watching it on the screen currently right now, I could not actually find a Washington Football Team helmet, so we have substituted it with the Redskins helmet. We have a line currently on that game from Vegas. That would be the Washington Football Team -1 under over 44.5. I always bump the halves to the next number. We're going under over 45. Who would
over under?
Yes.
Over under 45. But you have Washington winning.
It's Washington -1.
Excellent. Upset special. Herbert takes his West Coast team to Washington Football Team and beats them. Not bad, because that defense is too good. But yeah, Herbert gets the W. I think they score about 52 points. Chargers by a field goal.
Kurt?
I'm going to go opposite. West Coast team coming to the East. Early start, 1 o'clock start. I do like Herbert, but I think Washington's defense at home, Fitzpatrick gets it done. I will go opposite. I'm going to go Washington by 3. But I'm going to take under in a low-scoring game.
Alex, Bearman, go up.
Well, I've said it many times, Justin Herbert, I don't care if this is the second year in the league. The dude is pretty good. And I really feel like the potential is out there and he's going to get better. Now, Washington's defense is definitely something you don't want to underestimate. Now, the defense is definitely amazing, but then now you think of the offense too. But I mean, I believe Ryan Fitzpatrick will be starting for Washington, unless I'm not sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but Washington was probably going to put up a fight. But I think that the Chargers are definitely going to end up, emerging victorious. I mean, I think Justin Herbert shows resiliency, shows the courage, and he really leads his team to a convincing win.
My whole deal with this game here is that the one downfall the Chargers always have every year is their kicking game. Their kicking game has been miserable for the last 4 years. If this game comes down to it where it's close at the end, do the Chargers have a good kicker that's going to be able to cover it? Again, that's always been a question mark. Special teams has always been the deal. Washington defense pretty good. Fitzpatrick is a upgrade in my opinion over what they had last year. But is Fitzpatrick on his up year or is he on his down year? The roller coaster will tell. I do have San Diego winning this, and the only reason why I say San Diego probably is going to win this is probably going to be their run game. Again, kind of close, but
You owe me push-ups, bro. You said San Diego.
listen, I will always know them as San Diego. That's the way I grew up with them. I apologize. But I believe, though, that the Chargers are going to come on top. It's probably going to be about a 4-point game. So I'll take the Chargers getting the point, and I will go with the over. So it's Chargers across the board for that. All right. Next game we got on the list is going to be Seattle and Indy. Seattle coming from the West Coast, going to Indy. We have Seattle. Let me see my numbers here. It is Seattle -3, under over 49. Mr. Fleming.
This one is a rough one because I don't trust Seattle's defense due to the fact that they don't have KJ Wright. But on that same token, I don't trust Carson Wentz. Indianapolis has everything but a quarterback, but it is in Indy. And this is week 1. You can't count that whole West Coast bias because it's week 1. Week 2, 3, 4, yeah, you could say that West Coast to East Coast, yeah. No, this is week 1. They've been there since Wednesday. I begrudgingly, and I do mean begrudgingly, am going to take Seattle due to the fact that Carson Wentz isn't healthy and Russell Wilson is in his 10th year. I think the over-under on that game, total points is 47. I'm going to go Seattle by 6.
Kurt?
Again, I'm going to go opposite just a little bit. I agree with him, though. I don't like Carson Wentz either, but I like Indy's defense better than Seattle. Indy is at home. I'm going to look for a huge game from Jonathan Taylor running the ball. I'm going to go with what was the over-under, 47?
The under-over is 49.
49. I am going to go under. I am going to go 27-20 Indy over Seattle.
Bearman.
Well, that's really tough. The fact that Seattle doesn't have, KJ and we can't trust Carson Wentz. I think at the end, I think Seattle finds the way to do it. But, with the Indianapolis' running game with Taylor, that can't be counted out. But I think it's going to be a hard fought effort. But I think Seattle escapes with a 3-point win.
Here's where I'm going to go with this. No T.Y. Hilton. That is a huge lost part of the Colts offense. And as much as I love Indy's running game and that offensive line, with them losing that particular option and not being able to replace him even a week or two before the regular season, that's going to be a very, very big problem. Yes, Mr. Wright going and leaving Seattle and going to the Raiders, that's, again, another big piece for Seattle, but I believe Seattle offensively is going to be a little bit better manned than Indy. The defenses, obviously, Indy's a little bit stronger now that the roster moves for the Seahawks are there. I'm going to go Seattle. I believe Seattle's deep threats are going to be a little bit much more of a difference for this game, only because they're just fully complemented in weapons. So I am going to take Seattle -3, Seattle straight up, and I think I'm going the over. All right. Let's see. Next one. This is going to be a fun game. The New York Jets fly down south to Carolina and visit the Panthers. We have on that line currently, it is Carolina -4, under over 45.
T-shirt in the car. Upset special. Everybody thinks that the Carolina Panthers are going to have a good year, and I do too. But you know what? Every now and then, when you got old teammates who have beef against a quarterback that's seeing ghost, and a brand new coach that's a defensive coordinator that's trying to make a statement, I like the Jets. And I like the Jets for 31 points because I don't think that wide receiver core is getting any notice. Corey Davis, breakout star.
Kurt.
I'm out going opposite of Alex again. I just think it is a Sam Darnold at home revenge game against the Jets. It's going to really want to show what they lost with them. Christian McCaffrey back from injury. Robbie Anderson connection again with Darnold. I do agree. I think the Jets are going to be a lot better than people think, though, this year. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Zach Wilson is going to put up points, I think, with that wide receiving core. But I just think Carolina, I think Darnold beats them. I'm going to go a high-scoring game. I'm going to go 31-27 Carolina. Well, actually, I can't do it because then that's a push. Give me 31-23 Carolina, minus the 4.
Bearman.
Well, it's the way these gentlemen just said it. There's no better way to describe the situation. Christian McCaffrey come back from injury, and then with the Jets, a new head coach, new quarterback, and then a wide receiver core. So the Jets are definitely going to have a better season. The Panthers are in for a good season as well, and this game could be high scoring. I mean, I feel like this game is a game that it's definitely going to be full of unexpected surprises. But I think at the end, Christian McCaffrey has a good game, and I think Christian McCaffrey's running game is going to be key. So that's why I have the Panthers winning it.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I mention something to you?
Sure.
The two games that the Jets won last year were against the Browns and the Rams. Besides the fact that they were both playoff teams, they both had power running games. And the Jets' defensive line and linebacker core, without C.J. Mosley, was able to shut them down. Well, guess what? You have a brand new coach who actually knows what the hell they're doing. You got C.J. Mosley back, and you have weapons on offense. Now, I don't know about you. You can go with Carolina all you want. But if you were ever going to make a statement and have Zach Wilson get all the beef about his mom off his back, you win week 1 in Carolina on the road.
Now, I'm one of those people that loves defense. And one of the keys that the New York Jets don't have to deal with currently right now is there is no Curtis Samuel. He's out for at least 4 weeks. And this is, again, you're going to have McCaffrey coming back off the
Curtis
injury.
Curtis Samuel is a Washington football team. He's no longer a Carolina Panther.
My bad. I still say, though, the only advantage Sam Darnold has is Robbie Anderson is still with the Carolina Panthers. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he's got his deep weapon back. I don't see this as a really high scoring game. I really don't. I believe the defenses, even though the Jets lost a pass rusher earlier, like 3 weeks ago into the preseason, is going to affect that. But Robert Saleh took a San Francisco defense and flipped that defense around. Carolina has a very, I would say maybe mid-range defense at this point. And they haven't had anything since Luke Kuechly left. So I don't see this as a high-scoring game. I'm actually going to go with the under on this. I do have Carolina winning as a Sam Darnold, you kicked my butt out of town type deal. Zach Wilson's going to have his bumps and bruises because that offensive line, to me, for the New York Jets is not stable. There's still a lot of unproven talent on that offensive line. I do have Carolina -4 and Carolina winning straight. Okay. Next one up. Minnesota goes to Cincinnati to take the Bengals on week 1. The return of Joe Burrow, which should be a very interesting setup for them. We have Minnesota -3, under over 48. Mr. Fleming.
You know what? That's about right on. Cincinnati didn't get an offensive lineman. They could have got Penei Sewell. Instead, they got Jamar Chase. Doesn't matter how many weapons you got on offense if you can't throw the football because you're on your back. Oh, and Justin Jefferson. is going to demand double teams, leading to open shots to Adam Thielen and Day. I call him Day, but it's Dede. Leading open to Day Westbrook. Minnesota's offense has never been the problem. It's always been their defense. Well, a healthy Danielle Hunter is going to fix that. It's week 1. It's Cincinnati. It's the Midwest because everything is mid. Minnesota, perfect stat line, and I got Minnesota by 10.
Kurt?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Alex. Minnesota's offense, Dalvin Cook, Thielen, Jefferson, and even the bigger thing, what he said was the Cincinnati offensive line. They got Jamar Chase. Yeah, that's all good and dandy, but you better protect Joe Burrow, and that offensive line is horrific. I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm going to go, since he hangs around, Minnesota pulls away late. I'm going to go 27-17 Minnesota over Cincinnati.
Bearman.
Well, considering the fact that Joe Burrow is still out, right?
No, he's starting week 1.
Oh, he's starting? Okay. Well, there's definitely the risk, as Mr. Fleming mentioned, they didn't get an offensive line, and I still ask myself why they passed on Penei Sewell. Because I figured Penei Sewell is definitely, if you need a quarterback protection, he would have been the guy to get. But the fact with the Vikings, the Vikings have a very good offense. I know everybody likes to pick on Kirk Cousins, but we can't deny the fact Kirk Cousins can throw. But in case of Cincinnati, they're in rebuild mode, and it's still hard to be sure if they're headed deep in the right direction. It's arguable, but I think Cincinnati is going to be overwhelmed. I think Minnesota wins it convincingly.
I'm not even going to go past one name, and everybody somehow forgets him when they do an analysis on Minnesota. One player will set the tone for the entire day. That will be Dalvin Cook. I do not believe Cincinnati's front 7 has enough ammo in the bank to stop Dalvin Cook. He's rushing for 100 plus, at least through 3 quarters. And I'm going to take Minnesota giving the points and the under-over. That's where my little bit of the lie is going to be. I think it's going to probably be the over. All right. Arizona at Tennessee. This is going to be in my opinion, I believe this is going to be probably one of the highlight games of the weekend. It is Tennessee minus 3 and the under over 54.
I love the score because you're absolutely right. This is not going to be the faint of heart if you like defense. Both of these guys are going to score points left and right. Here's the difference. Tennessee's defense is trash. They were 24th ranked last year, and that's before they had Bud Dupree and Danico Autry. They got rid of all their secondary, bro. Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler, who went to Arizona and then retired. Now let's look at the Arizona offensive weapons. Kyler Murray, number 1. He's in MVP talks. I'm letting you know that right now. They won't have Larry Fitzgerald, but they do have this guy named DeAndre Hopkins. Last I checked, he's actually pretty good. Oh, and AJ Green's not done. You hear that? AJ ain't done, you sweaty bastards. He's going to have an excellent year. Oh, and Rondale Moore is going to get some snaps. Now, everybody's talking about Chase Edmonds at the running back position, but in Arizona, if you got the hookup, look out for Eno Benjamin. He's going to get some plays in the slot and as the third down back. Oh, and last but not least, Isaiah Simmons, 2020 Combine. He was faster than Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley. Well, they gave him some help at the linebacker position with Zaven Collins. I guarantee you, if you shut down that running game of Tennessee and make Tannehill throw, he's going to make some mistakes. Oh, and is A.J. Brown healthy? Yeah. Arizona's not necessarily West Coast, and I already said it's week 1. I got Arizona by a field goal. 57 points, not 54. Everybody's scoring.
Kurt.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. I agree. It's going to be a really high-scoring game, and I hope he's right with Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray I have him one of my fantasy teams, so I do hope he's an MVP candidate. But I'm going to go Tennessee 31-20. I guess I got to do it push. So I got to change it. I'll go 30-14 34-28 in a high-scoring game. I think Tannehill brings them back. It's going to be back and forth. I'll go 34-28, a late Tannehill to Julio Jones touchdown. So obviously I got Tennessee and the over.
Bearman, what do you got?
Well, I'm not going to deny the type of unique talent that Kyler Murray is. I mean, the dude is phenomenal. And as Mr. Fleming mentioned, Tennessee's defense is unconvincing. And in my case, knowing that Kyler Murray is intelligent, he's got DeAndre Hopkins, to rely on, and several other weapons. And this definitely will be a high scoring game, but I think at the end, I think Kyler Murray leads the Cardinals to victory.
One common denominator. I said it in the Minnesota game, and I'm gonna poke the bear on this one, Mr. Fleming. So if there's a little bit of a poke, you know this. Julio Jones. Tannehill gets another weapon to replace Jonnu Smith. That may be a huge key for Tannehill for throwing the ball. Everybody does like to tout Julio as one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. Last few years, he has been beaten up. He has been bruised. He's missed a few games. You're also adding another 1,000-yard receiver to that receiving core. Again, Derrick Henry is going to be the key of stopping him. Obviously, Arizona edge J.J. Watt. They still have Jones as a pass rusher. My questioning of it could be is the secondary going to be able to contain the wide receiver core, and can that front four somehow stuff the front line of the Titans to stop Derrick Henry? Do I feel like this is going to be like a bruised peach? Hell's yes. Because, again, the trenches are going to be the key. I feel a little bit that Tennessee's got a probably better shot at the offensive line than the Arizona front four, even with adding J.J. Watt. God, do I feel 60 points coming on? Yes, I do. I'm going to actually take Tennessee giving the points and the over. That is where I am going. Next up, here comes an unfair handicapped fight. We have San Fran going to Motown against the Detroit Lions. I'm looking at this line right now. I feel miserable for Detroit right off the bat. We have San Fran -9, under over 46. Mr. Fleming.
I'll make this quick. I'm not even going to mention George Kittle. Raheem Mostert, fastest running back in the NFL, 23 miles per hour. Detroit, no secondary, bad defensive line. San Francisco runs away with this. I'm thinking they score about 38 points. Keep the over-under line, go over.
Kurt?
Yeah, I totally agree. The only thing that's going to be interesting is there going to be a couple packages for Trey Lance tomorrow, get him in the game and have Shanahan unleash him a little bit. That's going to be interesting. But I totally agree with him. I just think Detroit, San Fran's, they got the running game. They're going to get the play action. Ayuk over the top. And Jared Goff, it's not going to be a good start for him. I'm going to go 34-17. So then I am going over as well, and San Fran -9.
Bearman, what do you got?
It's definitely going to be a bit weird seeing a Detroit team without Matthew Stafford. It really will. But, in San Francisco's case, and how Kurt mentions, in the case with Jared Goff probably not starting off good, I really believe I have to lean on the San Francisco side. I think San Francisco is going to get it done, but it's going to be an effort. They're not just going to take the ball and just run with it. I mean, it's going to be a serious game.
So what's your pick?
I'm going to go San Francisco wins 31-27.
31-27. So you got the over?
Yeah.
Okay. I love the breakdown of the players. My concern is the front four. of San Fran, they had some big injuries last year. Big injuries. Bosa going down with the leg injury. I want to see how he even reacts to how many plays he's going to have. Is he going to have the full slate of defensive snaps? Or are they going to bounce him out for subs? That's one question. Jimmy G, is he really going to be wrapped in bubble wrap, or is he back with the injury that he had last year? That's a question mark. Obviously, they're going to probably do some packages with Trey Lance. Not going to lie on that one. But Detroit also at the same right. Like, I feel like this is going to be one of those trap games. That's where I'm kind of seeing this, because everybody on Thursday was really thinking that Dallas was going to get smoked. And I had came out and said it. It is week 1. There is no sure bet, especially with a line that you're coming in at anything over 8 points. 8 points or better has never been one of those games that has actually covered throughout the first 3 weeks of an NFL season. So the doors are going to be open. As much as I really want to say, I'm going to take Detroit -8, -9, whatever, San Fran's going to be strong, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a tease to it. I don't think San Fran's scoring more than 35 points in this game, and I honestly don't think Detroit's scoring more than 10. So I'm going to go with the under, but I am going to take San Fran to cover and win the game straight up. I went on this bet the last time, and it kind of went a little bit crazy on me. Pittsburgh going to Buffalo, two teams that are going to be sitting here kind of in a heavyweight fight. I believe that's just my kind of load. It is Buffalo -7 under over 46. Oh, sorry, 49. My bad. And I'll start off with Mr. Fleming.
Skip me. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay. Kurt, what's going on?
It's another great game, a great 1 o'clock game. Buffalo, Super Bowl aspirations. A lot of people are picking them to get to the Super Bowl. I think they win, but I'm going to take, if you could take Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh's defense on the road, I mean, anytime you could take a touchdown with Pittsburgh's defense, Big Ben, I know he's an older quarterback, but hey, he's got the experience. The crowd's not going to bother him. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm going to go 27-24. So I am going to go Buffalo. I'm going to go Buffalo 27-24. So, but I'm going to take the points with Pittsburgh, and I will go over the 49.
Bearman.
I really believe that Buffalo has everything they need to make it to the Super Bowl. They got a fantastic quarterback. They got a respectable defense. As far as Pittsburgh goes, in the future, right now, the whole situation with Ben Roethlisberger, we don't know how many more years he's going to play, and hell, we don't even know if he can stay healthy. But Buffalo's got the motivation. Like I said, they have everything. They're a loaded team. Now, that's why I automatically have to go with Buffalo. But I would still expect, Pittsburgh being the team that they are, Pittsburgh's going to put up a fight. But I think at the end, Buffalo seals the deal convincingly.
Mr. Fleming, you ready?
I need to tell y'all something. Okay, first and foremost, no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Y'all don't remember the ass whooping that they gave the Pittsburgh Steelers last year after they barely lost against the Washington football team? Who got Diggs? Somebody answer that question for me. Who got Diggs? Oh, and by the way, nobody's mentioning Gabriel Davis because Stephon Diggs takes too much of the limelight. They have a better offensive line, and AJ Espinoza is in rare form. You had Gregory Rousseau from Miami, and you know what? They re-signed Matt Milano. Anybody picking Pittsburgh on this panel is full of basura. Buffalo in a rout. This shouldn't even be close. To hell with that over-under line. Buffalo's blowing them out.
Here is the main concern that I have for this game. And it gives Buffalo the huge edge. The run game. That has been the one thing that the Pittsburgh Steelers have not had stable since Le'Veon Bell has left. Have they picked up the offensive weapons to even give Big Ben options out of the backfield to throw any side patterns, any dump offs? That's my only downfall to this game. If Pittsburgh cannot run the ball and consume the clock and take the clock away from Buffalo, Pittsburgh will be in trouble. They will be in trouble. I have this game going at like 51 points, at least 52 points. So whatever the line of 49 is going to be, it's going to be there. To me, it's going to be like 31-28 or like 27-24. I have Pittsburgh losing, but I am having Pittsburgh take the points. So it's I'm having Pittsburgh take the 7 and Buffalo winning. So I'm also taking the over. I'm going very bold on these predictions because it's week 1 and I can't trust anybody. Philly at Atlanta. This is going to be another one of those bruised peach games because I really don't expect anything out of both teams whatsoever. And that's being brutally honest. It's Atlanta -3 and over of 49. Who would like to go first? Mr. Fleming.
I wrote a piece on Jalen Hurts at the 2020 Combine, and he was throwing in Lucas Oil Stadium. Him and Justin Herbert were the best quarterbacks available. I was mad that he ended up in Philadelphia because I didn't think he was going to really shine. Well, what a difference a year makes. That bum Carson Wentz is now in Indianapolis, and Jalen has his own team, surrounded by weapons and a Heisman Trophy winner. Now, the front 4 of that Philadelphia Eagles defense is solid. The back 3 in the secondary are trash. So it's all going to be up to the linebackers and Mr. Eric Wilson. Now flip over to Atlanta. Matt Ryan, that ice is melted. And that defense, bro, we can run a play and score on that defense. Now, it's a battle of the birds. They will be serving bird on Sunday, but I like Philly to cover and win. People think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think the over-under is at like 36 or something. That's a joke. I will take Philly by 12.
Kurt.
I totally agree with him about the Atlanta defense. I mean, it's bad. Like, I mean, it might be the worst in the NFL. And Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders, a lot of weapons there. Atlanta got Pitts, the tight end out of Florida. Ridley's going to have a big year. So I'm expecting a lot of points. But I'm going to agree with them. I'm going to take Philly and an upset on the road. I'm going to go 30-27. So I'm going to go Philly plus the points and over.
Bearman.
Well, I honestly, I had a hard time with this one. With Atlanta, that defense and, in the situation with Philadelphia, it's really giving, even right now, I'm still having such a difficult time. But, with Calvin Ridley with the weapon and, Matt Ryan now being at a point of his career where, there's still probably a bit of, there's probably still some left, but you don't know how many years he has left. And in Philly's case, don't know what to expect from, in my case, I don't know what to expect from either team, but I still somehow think that Atlanta is actually going to pull it off. I think Kyle Pitts is actually going to have a very good debut.
I 1,000% agree with the Bear. I think Kyle Pitts is a problem. But one man can't win you a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's called teamwork. I mean, one guy can't carry the team. Yeah.
Well, I will kind of say this, and this is going to be probably one of the weirdest analogies I'm ever going to say on this show. This is definitely not one game I would want to be sitting there watching. I probably would have a big bucket and throw up in it every time there's a turnover or an incompletion or a loss of yardage. Because as much as I want to put faith in Jalen Hurts getting control of that offense, and Atlanta's just been a dumpster fire for the last few years after 28-3. I would probably want to watch an opera more than I would want to watch this game, to be deathly honest. This game is definitely getting the under. I'm going to pick Philly getting the points. But I'll be honest with you, the only thing I'm going to have any faith in at this point probably would be Philly's run game, because I don't believe offensive weapons are there. There are a lot of them there. I don't think Jalen Hurts is matured, even though he's been in the NFL for a little cup of tea. And I just don't see. I see Julio leaving Atlanta and being kind of a huge problem. I understand you drafted a top tight end, where they really probably should have drafted something else. In a lot of people's eyes, I understand tight end was a great spot for him, but I just don't see Atlanta with any firepower. I don't see them with any running game, and I think Philly has that advantage. I think the run game is going to be a little bit more effective. But I don't see this game going over. I see this game staying as an under. Again, I call this one the bruised peach game because there's just not a lot of interest in it. 4 o'clock, however, there is going to be some fireworks. We do have Cleveland visiting Kansas City. The line that we have is Kansas City at 6, and the under/over is 55. Mr. Fleming.
32-0. That's the touchdown to interception ratio for Patrick Mahomes in the month of September. Think about that. Oh, and by the way, I don't believe that Patrick Mahomes has lost in September either. Now, the Kansas City defense isn't that good, but who's stopping the cheetah? That's why Cleveland got all those damn corners from the Rams and Newsome from Northwestern. Newsome's going to get that welcome to NFL moment. They couldn't beat the Kansas City Chiefs when Mahomes went down and made anything as possible. The Cleveland Browns are front runners, paper champions, fakes, shenanigans, felonious. They look great on paper, and they haven't done a damn thing. This will be a statement if they won, but they won't. Patrick Mahomes, September. Please go against it. Please go against it. Somebody please pick Cleveland. All right? Now, for now, Cleveland's going to lose this game, but if they meet in the playoffs, I believe this could be different. But this is week 1. Kansas City in a blowout. Arrowhead's going to be rocking. The over-under of 55, I'm going to go over. Patrick Mahomes is angry because he took an ass whooping from that Tampa Bay Bucks. Oh, and I hate to say I told you so.
I love you, Mr. Fleming. I hope you know that. I completely enjoy having you on the show. Kurt.
You know what? Mr. Fleming just made me change my mind. I'm going to say that because I was going to go Cleveland because Cleveland kind of has the recipe that gives Kansas City a problem. Running backs, you got Chubb and Hunt. You know, Odell Beckham coming back. You got Landry. You got weapons. You know, they got a good defense. Myles Garrett leading the way. They're going to kill some clock. But what he sold me on is Arrowhead's going to be rocking. And you know what? That place is going to be rocking. So I'm switching my pick. I'm going to go Kansas City 38, Cleveland 38-21. So I will go over and Kansas City laying the points.
Bearman.
Well, the way I like to see this game, it's, you know, you got Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes, a little rematch from the days in the Big 12. You know, with both teams, especially having respectable offenses, and we know with Cleveland with a respectable defense, you know, it's very well said. Patrick Mahomes, you know, is unhappy about what happened with him in the Super Bowl. And Patrick Mahomes, you know, he's still at the point where he's only just getting started, but it's only getting better. But, you know, and, you know, I can't disagree with the fact that Arrowhead will, in fact, be rock and rolling. So, yeah, I mean, there's really not much to think about. I just, you know, Kansas City is obviously the favorite, so I have to go with the Chiefs.
Here is where I have always stepped on Kansas City, and this is where a lot of people hate me for it. Kansas City cannot stop a run game consistently. That has always been their Achilles heel, no matter what. Super Bowl, that obviously happened. Tampa ran all over them. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is undefeated in September, but Kansas City's defense is not going to be one of those defenses now only getting Tyrann Mathieu off the COVID list. We obviously history with the COVID list, not everybody comes back at 100%. So Tyrann Mathieu is listed as questionable for tomorrow, and this has been scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Do I see both teams scoring points? Yes, I do. I do see both teams scoring points. But I don't think, again, it's week 1, Kansas City laying that many points, they're not covering that deal. I got KC winning the game, but I got Cleveland taking the points and the over. That, because again, like I I believe that two-headed monster that Cleveland's got, that run game is just it's gonna control a lot of different things. Next up, we have Green Bay at New Orleans. The game is not in the Dome, I believe. I think they're still not doing the game at the Superdome.
Jacksonville.
Yes. So we have Green Bay -4, under over 50. Mr. Fleming.
Be very, very quiet. I'll be in the press box. I'm going to be in Jacksonville covering this game, Green Bay versus New Orleans. Now, you want the definition of petty? They're practicing in Texas Stadium. Well, I'm sorry, the Jerry World. And instead of playing the game in Dallas or even Miami, because Miami's on the road in New England, they decided to make the game go to Jacksonville. Why? One, Aaron Rodgers is 3-4 in the state of Florida. Two, it would cost more money for Packer fans to fly to Jacksonville than it would Miami and Dallas. That's petty. Angry Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? He was like the jaded girlfriend. He got everything he wanted. He got Randall Cobb back. He got control, and he's controlling the narrative. And he, for some odd reason, likes whooping New Orleans' ass. Recent departures from the New Orleans Saints. Janoris Jenkins. Sheldon Rankins. Angeloni. He's not there. So you got a young linebacker core. Ooh, Lattimore, suspended. That's right. Gun charge, Cleveland. Brah. Jameis will have a good game. Green Bay. And I know that Jacksonville Field is going to be beautiful. And it's going to be sunlight. And I wish the people in New Orleans could see this game. My heart goes out to you like it does for all the 9/11 tragedies. I hope you get this game out of market, and I hope your city rebuilds. But as far as Sunday is concerned, please accept this ad-ridden ass whipping. Green Bay, 42, they cover.
Kurt.
Yeah, totally agree with him. If this game was in New Orleans, maybe I'd have a little second thoughts because, in that home crowd and stuff, that dome's tough to play in. But Aaron Rodgers pissed off coming back. He's got that FU to the world now. Like, I'm going to show everybody. And totally agree with Alex too. New Orleans losing a lot, plus no Michael Thomas on the offensive end. I'm going to go a little high scoring, but I think Green Bay gets it done. I think Rodgers starts his MVP, back-to-back MVP campaigning tomorrow big in Jacksonville. 33-24 Green Bay over New Orleans.
Bearman, what you got?
Well, we all mentioned about a pissed off Aaron Rodgers, and I've said this many times. If Aaron Rodgers is pissed off, you better run, because the team he's going against, that defense, well, chances are they're going to get their butts kicked big time. Well, in New Orleans' case, it's Drew Brees no longer there, so that's going to be a bit tough to deal with. But we always knew that he wasn't going to be there forever. But with Green Bay, as Mr. Fleming mentioned, Aaron Rodgers in control. So when Aaron Rodgers is in control and like that, you can't beat the guy. So it's easier said than done. Yeah, Green Bay.
President.
Yes.
I just got some updated news. Tyrann Mathieu will play tomorrow. He will play tomorrow.
Okay. That's cool. Thank you for that. Did you give your pick, Bear?
Yes, sir. Green Bay.
I love the fact that Mr. Fleming said that Mr. Aaron Rodgers is 3-4 in Florida. I feel like there's going to be some type of rebirth with Jameis Winston. His first game is actually in Florida. It's not in New Orleans. It may actually be one of those like home state advantaged games for him, and he has to come out and prove himself at this point. Aaron Rodgers is already proven. He's got the weapons. That defense is always usually, to me, questionable. I never know how Green Bay's defense is always going to start out. And if they get a little sluggish in the game and Jameis can take advantage of it, that's a positive. Again, another player that we're going to actually put a spotlight on, because now he doesn't have any backup. There is no Latavius Murray anymore. You got to still sit there and worry about Alvin Kamara and whether he's going to be doing the actual run game or he's going to be taking passes out of the backfield as the dual threat. This is going to be a doozy game. This may actually be one of those shootout games. And I am going to go, I'm going to go with Green Bay given the points. I'm going to have Green Bay winning the game. Definitely the over.
Two people you want to pick up on your fantasy lineups. Thomas Jones, running back who took Latavius Murray's paycheck, and Marcus Callaway. He is a star. And since Michael Thomas is going to be out for at least 6 weeks, look for Callaway to shine.
All right, next up, we got Kurt's team is going to be on the show this week. We got the Denver Broncos flying out to MetLife Stadium against the New York Giants. And the line for this game is actually a very interesting line because it's one of the lines that actually stuck out for me. It is Denver -3, under over 42. Kurt.
I'll start this off. Couple things that I like. First off, Denver's defense. I believe they're a top 3 defense in football. You know, their secondary was shaky last year. Tons of injuries. You add Kyle Fuller, Patrick Surtain, Ronald Darby. You put him with Bryce Callahan. You're getting Von Miller back. Bradley Chubb's questionable. Hopefully he can still go. The Giants' offensive line is pathetic. You know, Saquon Barkley, questionable, probably play, but how many touches are they going to give him? It's a late start. I don't like Denver is never good going on the East Coast on a 1:00 game. It's a 4:25 start. Teddy Bridgewater, I'm going to be honest with you. I would rather have Drew Lock, but hey, they want to play with the more cautious Bridgewater. He's not going to turn it off. That's fine. I'm going to take Denver. And here's the thing that's a little scary for me now. Head coach Vic Fangio in September, 0-7 in his career in the last 2 years. That is not a good stat, but that stat gets reversed tomorrow. I'm going Denver 27, Giants 17. Denver's defense gets it done.
Bearman, what do you got?
Well, I'm actually a bit surprised that they went with Teddy Bridgewater rather than Drew Lock. But everything.
So am I, Bear. So am I.
But everything that Kurt explained, I could basically say the exact same thing where there's no need to. But with the Giants' offensive line being the question and Denver's defense being out there. And it's been said, the defense, when the defense dominates, you have a better chance to win. That's why I think Denver actually pulls it off.
This is where I'm going to throw a few little nuggets in, and when Mr. Fleming can get back, we'll be good on that. Giants actually did upgrade. I hate to say it. It's scary to say that they actually finagled their way with their cap room to upgrade at certain spots. Kenny Golladay, for one. The tight end formerly from Minnesota. Again, his brain, my brain is fried from trying to remember all these
Rudolph,
names. Yes,
yeah.
Rudolph. Okay. You are getting some key pieces back. Okay, granted, Ingram can't catch a freaking loaf of bread. But they're still a little bit more loaded than offense. Yes, we're getting Saquon for how many plays throughout the game. That's going to be determined because they're obviously not going to throw him in full bore. Backup-wise, I don't think the Giants' offense has enough at the running back position. But again, you're getting Saquon back. You may get him for like 4 or 5 plays where he may rush for 80 yards at some point. He may break a big one. I still love Denver's front seven. I believe that's a pretty strong front seven. At some points, they do get thrown under the bus. They get a little bit of the underrated spot. Von Miller is going to be back, which is always a bonus because Von Miller is going to be one of the ones that you're going to look at. Chubb is going to be one of the other guys that you're going to look at for pass rush. I actually kind of do agree with the Teddy Bridgewater deal. I don't think Locke is experienced enough or has gotten enough seasoning to have had that starter role. And I think the other reason that you got Bridgewater starting is he's pretty much been kind of a little thrown under the bus since he tore up his knee a few years ago. Yes, he was with the Jets. That didn't work out. But then again, the Jets have always been a dumpster fire. He was with New Orleans. Again, you had Drew Brees there. Like, you weren't going to be able to do very much with him there. Carolina, you didn't have a full set with him there. And you're throwing him in with a bunch of young, talented offensive players. That just may be the thing that you need to get Teddy Bridgewater built. Like, get him fired because you know you got a lot of young talent there. This game is going to be fairly close. That I'm going to kind of say it, but I believe though that Denver probably is going to come on top. I don't see. I don't see it. It's probably going to end up being a push, but I'm going to take the Giants with the points, and I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go under. Oh boy, here we go. This is the conversation I didn't want to have. Miami flies north, like the Snowbirds normally do during the winter, to Foxborough at the Razor. It's a 4:25 game. Dolphins at Patriots. I'm not starting this one off. So somebody pick a spot.
I'll start it off. This is, I think the whole big thing is about Cam Newton getting released, Mac Jones starting, yada, yada, yada. I think Mac Jones is going to be fine. I mean, he was at Alabama. I mean, that's a big game every week, bigger crowds there than what he's going to have in New England. The thing that I love for you, Ricky, for your Patriots this week, you gave 9 months for Bill Belichick to game plan for Tua. You saw what happened at the end of the year with Tua when Denver shut him out. Somebody else shut him out. They had to go to Fitzpatrick. The matchup of Tua versus Belichick, I love in your favor. Mac Jones will be fine because Josh McDaniels, even though he isn't a great head coach, probably one of the best offensive coordinators, so he'll get you points. I just don't think Miami and Tua is going to get points against the New England defense on the road. So for you, Ricky, I'm going 27-16 New England over Miami.
All right, Mr. Fleming, I got to get your Denver Giants pick, and then we got Miami and New England.
I have the G-Men winning the NFC East. That starts with beating up on those Broncos, whose defense is solid, but the offense is inconsistent. I think it's going to be week 3 or week 4 when Javonte Williams takes over the position from Melvin Gordon. I like Jerry Jeudy, but I believe the better wide receiver is Courtland Sutton. And the fact that they got rid of Drew Lock to make Teddy Bridgewater the starter tells me 2 things. Drew Lock needs to be traded and gone to another team. And the Denver Broncos are in the mood to draft a quarterback in 2022. Now, the Giants have been stepped on, overlooked, underappreciated, and all that. Saquon Barkley is healthy with an array of wide receivers. I got the Giants winning big, 27-13. And as far as Miami and New England is concerned, this is the most cerebral game of the week. Tua's got a lot to prove. There's a lot of pressure on Tua. And covering all the Florida teams for working with the Florida Sun, Tua was the talk last year. Tua is the pressure point this year. Tua needs to produce because if he doesn't, they could have grabbed Deshaun Watson. They didn't pull the trigger because Houston's being unreasonable. What I do say, however, is that Tua's going to get bailed out by his defense. McCorkle, yes, that's Mac Jones' middle name. McCorkle is a rookie. He's going to get picked off by Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, and that's the only way Miami's going to play and win this game. I got this in a close one because it's the hoodie. Prove it game for Tua, pressure point game on the defense. I got Miami by a field goal. Gentlemen, my apologies. I have to go because my lovely boss is going to fire me if I'm on this phone anymore.
Okay.
Have a beautiful Sunday.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
You too.
Have a good one.
Okay, that was Mr. Alex Fleming. He's been on and off the show every Saturday, so thanks to Alex for popping in. Bearman, I'll give you this the next floor for the Miami and New England game.
Well, when I saw that Miami was in negotiations with the Texans for the possibility, and I do have to say the possibility just because there's negotiations doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Some people actually believe it does, but I figured, you know what? I'm not ready to give up on Tua just yet. I mean, he's not perfect, but the potential is out there. But when we think of Tua, what worries us the most is can he stay healthy or not, right?
I don't know.
Exactly. See, there you go. The fact that Tua, we don't know what to expect, but now Mac Jones, he's a rookie, and obviously rookies are not perfect. He's gonna throw interception every now and then, or maybe more often than we think. I mean, either way, I don't want to underestimate the guy, but this game is gonna be an effort for both sides. But Miami is certainly capable of winning, but I think because it's going to be in New England. That's why I think New England actually somehow escapes. It's going to be an escape. That's what I have to be firm about. It's going to be an escape. So that's why I have New England by 3.
The debut of Mac Jones. Trying to break the Alabama curse. Because even though he's great Alabama, the quarterbacks that have left him have not had successful NFL careers. That was the case in the stat that they showed last week in the Alabama game, by the way, Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones has weapons. Something that once before, Mr. Thomas Edward Brady never really had, going all the way back to a Gronk, Mr. Randy Moss. He's never really had that. He's never had the plateau of what Mr. Mac Jones has got. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Aguilar, still questionable, Kendrick Bourne, and that beastly backfield that they have. My God, does he have weapons? The offensive line, back in somewhat of a fashion because of the return from everybody from the global bastard. That, my friends, that is the key. Back from the global bastard. Because 50% of New England's defense last year sat because of that reason. The ghosts, the boogeymen, are back. Yes, there is no Stephon Gilmore till week 7. That's totally understandable. But then again, you have the hoodie. Tua always obviously is going to be the question because I don't believe Tua has that locker room. Everybody has come out and said Tua does not have that locker room. So there is going to be tremendous amounts of pressure. It's going to be a very, very loud Gillette Stadium on Sunday at 4:25. I am picking the Patriots to win by 4. I am given those points, and I feel that this is probably going to be one of those games. If Tua gets the protection and the run game is halfway decent, it's going to be a decently high-scoring game. And decent would be around the under-over, which is 42, I believe. Wait, hold on. No, it's 44. I have it going over. Okay. Sunday Night Football. Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. The game that everybody has been kind of laughing at for the last few weeks, where a lot of Bears fans are saying, hey, you guys are going to upset the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football. Too bad Darnell's not here to talk about this. We have the Rams laying 8 under over 47. Kurt, what do you got?
I just can't see. I can't see it at home, Sunday night, national television. Matthew Stafford making his debut. Matthew Stafford is a lot of people saying, under the radar MVP candidate. Sean McVay, again, he's just like Belichick defensively, Sean McVay on the offensive side. You're going to give him tons of months to come up with a game plan for the Bears, and Andy Dalton on the road. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't even know why Andy Dalton's playing. Just play the kid, Justin Fields. Just, throw him out there. It's probably because they don't want him to face our Aaron Darnold in that Rams defense week 1, which may be a smart decision because I'm going to go Rams 31, Chicago 10 in a rout on Sunday night. And I think the Rams are going to be your Super Bowl champions this year.
Bearman, what do you got?
I like how Kurt mentions, how they picked Andy Dalton over the rookie quarterback, and you brought up a good point. Maybe they don't want him, going against Aaron Donald and everything, but it was funny that rant that Darnell went on because people were disrespecting the Rams in his words. I'm just like, you know what, dude, at the end, you've said this yourself. Like, I don't want to give you the full quote, but it's an opinion. Everybody has one, right? I mean, it's about the results, and I have no doubt the Rams are going to win comfortably. There's no doubt. So yeah, just give me the Rams. The Rams by 20.
I love getting put in this spot. I really do love getting put in this spot. Here has been the coup de grace for the LA Rams as of late. They have not won very many primetime games, no matter who the quarterback has been. Again, like Kurt said, it's the national spotlight. You have the Red Rocket at quarterback for the Chicago Bears. They actually still do have some talent. Allen Robinson going back, yes, that was the positive. I believe he's playing under the qualifying offer for the year. You still have pretty much a vaunted Bears defense, and number 52 is going to be running around Mr. Khalil Mack. Here's my kind of issue with this, is that I don't believe Mr. Justin Fields is even the backup quarterback on this team currently right now, because they got Nick Foles still sitting there. So, in my opinion right now, yes, as much as everybody would love to see Mr. Justin Fields play, he said the game was kind of slow, I believe, during the preseason, and then he got leveled, and his helmet came off. That's kind of an eye-opener. I don't believe you'd want to be putting him out there against this LA Rams defense. Offensively, again, here's my question. How is that run game going to be for the Rams? I know the passing game should be pretty good, but again, yes, they just got Sony Michel. Did he learn the Rams playbook yet? I don't see this as a blowout. And I can't, again, I refer back to Thursday night. Everybody thought Tampa was going to smoke the Dallas Cowboys. It did not happen. Teams are going to show up week one. There's not going to be, everybody's going to come out of the gate sluggish. There's going to be sloppy mistakes. And it's going to be whether teams actually take advantage of those mistakes. I'm going to take the Bears with the points. I'm going to have the Rams win the game, and I am going to go 47 points. I'm going over. Nothing week one with a line like that should be fairly visible. Last up, Monday Night Football. We have the Ravens going to Vegas against the LA Raiders. It is Baltimore -4 under over 51. Kurt, your call.
This is my upset special. I think I'm a little down on Baltimore this year. I'm going to be honest. I didn't put them in my playoffs. I didn't make them making the wild card because I'm obviously a little higher on. I went with Cleveland in that division, but again, I'm a home person. So you talk about crazy crowds. I mean, Vegas, I think Monday night's going to be nuts. You know, you got Edwards out, Dobbins out. You're going to have a backfill of Le'Veon Bell and Murray just signing over from New Orleans. And I think, you know what? This is where it's going to be. This game is where you talked about before, Ricky. You know, Lamar Jackson, is he going to be able to, from the pocket, be able to beat the Raiders? Now, I know people are going to say it's the Raiders, but you know what? Raiders with Carr, you know, Jacobs, they still got some weapons. They're going to put up points, you know, and I think that home crowd, and I think Gruden, you know, Gruden's had a honeymoon the past couple of years in this 10-year deal. But what has he done since he came back to be the head coach of the Raiders? You know, there's a little pressure on when you're making $10 million a year and you're winning 6 and 7 games. So a little pressure on him at home, crazy atmosphere in Vegas. I'm going upset. I'm going to go Vegas 23, Baltimore 20.
I'm going to wait for Bearman on this one.
Well, because of the injuries to Baltimore, the chances, you know, have decreased. You know, I feel like it's another game that's just so hard to make a final decision on. So you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. Just give me the Raiders.
Raiders across the board. What are you going to go for under over there, Alex?
Give me over.
This is where we get to stroke the Raider bone for like 5 minutes. This is going to be the interesting way to say this. They added a very, very big key piece in that front seven out in Vegas. It's Vegas in Vegas. They're rolling the dice. KJ Wright is going to be roaming the middle of that field. That is a huge pickup the week before you get started in the NFL season. One of their questions has always been their secondary. I believe their secondary is a lot better than it was last year. Yes, they do not have Nelson Aguilar. That's a piece that they kind of lost. It's a deep threat issue. But again, they have Darren Waller at tight end, which was always, he's been one of the top 10 tight ends throughout the NFL last year. Josh Jacobs, as long as he can stay healthy in this game against that front seven, that is going to be fun. I do believe the losses of Marcus Peters in the secondary is going to kill them big time. Running back, that's still going to be questionable for the Ravens. What are you going to get out of Lamar Jackson? Are you going to get the playoff fart from Lamar Jackson week 1? Or are you going to get the MVP version of Lamar Jackson week 1? This is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a shootout because I don't think with any changes that Baltimore's making days before the game is really going to change anything. And I got laughed at when I made this pick, but I'm taking Oakland across the board, and I'm going to go the over. Finally, we get to reverse a little bit of the actions on this, and I know Thursday Night Football was one of, if not the biggest games on Thursday Night Football ever. We got to recap Dallas and Tampa. Kurt, would you like to start with your recap on that?
Again, I thought, I believe it was you that just made the statement of big blowout on Thursday night. I'm going to be honest. I was one of those people. I was definitely one of those people. Tampa Bay at home, the banners coming, Tom Brady, Dak coming off the injury. And listen, I'm always tough on Dak. I said 100 times on my show I would not give him that money. But you know what? He did show me something on Thursday night. And that offense, but going back to it, when you could have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Gallup, Zeke, and you can't win the NFC East, that's just crazy. So if you can't win the NFC East this year with that talent, then I'm sorry, I'm pointing that on Dak Prescott. The only thing I would say is I don't get why they don't run Zeke Elliott. They have some kind of statistic where when they give him 20 carries, they win 80% of the game. But they just how many carries did he have? I think he had 12 carries or 13 carries.
He had 11.
And 11. I don't understand why they just, they're at their best when they're the Cowboys. I know Martin was out, but run the ball, play action off of it. There's where you're going to have Dak. Dak threw 53 times or something like that. You're not going to win like that. But listen, Brady, I know he's your boy, Ricky. He was your Patriot, but I mean, it's just ridiculous what he's doing at his age. And you talked about he didn't have weapons in New England. I mean, he's just getting more weapons now. They drafted the kid Vaughn. OJ Howard's back. It's crazy. And their defense is tough. Again, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Tampa Bay would blow them out. But I'm going to be honest. I think Tampa Bay is going to be there again this year. I do, man. They're tough. And you know what? Brady looks better now. Somebody made a statement yesterday on TV where they said he throws a better ball at 44 than he does at 24. And they said that's a crazy statement to make because nobody would believe you, but it's the truth.
Alex, go ahead and bury your team.
Well, I have a habit of doing that on my. Kurt, he's definitely right. If you check out my Cowboys show, that's usually what I do. I bury my own team to prove a point. But you can't blame that loss on Dak Prescott, and you can't blame it on the last second when Tampa supposedly got away with offensive pass interference. Because the bottom line is those opportunities you had before the half. Okay, the Cowboys should have been up 28-14 at halftime. You have these turnovers. Okay, then you miss a field goal. And then you don't take full advantage. And then on the opening drive, Dallas takes 5 minutes off the clock, and then only comes up with 3 points. It's unacceptable. So the bottom line is, the Cowboys were literally spoon fed these opportunities. They couldn't take it. What else do you want me to say? That's the problem. now people are finally asking, has Dallas really mastered the art of losing games? I think they mastered that art a long time ago because they haven't done anything since 1996.
Well, here is where I'm going to kind of punch something in a private part that a lot of people are not going to like. Dallas showed actually a ton of potential in what they can actually do at this point when they do have a healthy Dak Prescott. Yes, that defense is still kind of trashy in a lot of spots, but they did have Micah Parsons running around that field, and he kind of did help out that game. He helped out a ton throughout that game, and he did look like a linebacker. It was kind of crazy, but true. Here's where I feel that I'm going to get a lot of flack on this opinion. Tampa played sloppy. They played sloppy. They played a lot of overconfidence in a lot of their games, which caused most of those turnovers that they had. Ronald Jones's fumble, 2 of Brady's picks. Okay, granted, one, yes, ended the half on a Hail Mary. That's all fine and good. But throughout that game, there was a lot of sloppy offensive plays in that game, which could have legit changed it where either Tampa really is blowing them out or Dallas actually takes advantage. Instead of running the ball on 3rd down in the red zone, they actually throw the ball for a change. Because guess what? That was what was working. Tampa's defense will give you the flats. They will give you the dump-offs. Why? Because they play Tampa too. There's always going to be available spots in the zones throughout the entire defense. Okay? Yes, Dak, before he went down last year, was probably going to have probably 6th season number-wise that I have ever seen. Probably maybe better than one of the Drew Brees years or one of the Brady years. But you know what? Dak took that game by the horns. Yes, he had one bad play where the ball went through the receiver's hands, and guess what? It got picked off. But that's a catchable ball. May not have been the greatest catch, but it was a catchable ball. Dallas did not take advantage of any of the turnovers or any of the mistakes that Tampa made. Tampa should have lost. Yeah. Rightfully so, Tampa should have lost.
Yeah, exactly. And it's from Kurt's point earlier, okay, if there's no reason that the Cowboys should not win the NFC East.
You know what? That's no reason. But you know what? That's going to be the question because you're going to end up saying now, like obviously Dallas gave up 31 points on Thursday Night Football. How is that defense stack against Washington? How does that defense now stack against the Giants? How does that stack against Philly? 3 weeks in, you'll have that answer. You will have that answer after 3 weeks. Which of the defenses are going to be the better ones in the NFC East? Right now, do I see Dallas as probably first or second in the NFC East? No, I don't. Unless they somehow can change the style of defense that they play with the team that they have, they could be 4th in the NFC East, and everybody could be around still maybe 2 or 3 games over 500 at this point. So that's the way I kind of look at it. I mean, it's Dallas showed something, and that was one of the things, that was one of the points that I was trying to drive through on Tuesday night show was do not underestimate what Dallas can do if they have everybody healthy. But now Dallas is going to be a little bit in a jam because now there's no Michael Gallup for a few weeks.
That's actually not a big deal because that gives the opportunity to Cedric Wilson, who's actually a really good player. So the loss of Michael Gallup really isn't the end of the world.
Well, he was one of the tops. He is, I believe, the second receiver in the core. And now you're just going to slide everybody up, which, you know what, it could be an advantage. We have to see what happens with Dallas next week. Kurt, before we go, throw out some social media where everybody can find you.
Again, we do 2 shows. Actually, we do 3 shows. I'll actually do the high school one. My wife and I do a high school sports show that is called All In on High School Sports. It is at All In on High School Sports on Twitter, Facebook, just All In on High School Sports. On YouTube, it is under the K&K Sports Show. That is our show Wednesday. Myself, Kenny Kirkpatrick, Edward Siciliano, three-person panel, 8 to 10, talk all kinds of sports. On Thursdays, we come back and we do our Wits and Wagers from 6 to 7 Eastern. And that is the K&K Sports Show on YouTube, on Facebook, and also on Periscope/Twitter.
Alex, throw your socials out again.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Bearman of Texas, just TX. You don't need that to spell it out. You can find the link to my author page for Primetime Sports Talk. You can also DM me if you want to subscribe to any of my 3 shows, plus my 4th show, which I run with a pro wrestler called Wrestling with a Bear. Ladies and gentlemen, my shows are amazing. You definitely want to tune in.
Alrighty, so that's it for ArchRivals on the anniversary of 9/11. Thanks to Mr. Alex Fleming for popping on. Kurt, thank you again for coming on, dude. Like, this has been...
Thank you for inviting. Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
This has definitely been a long time coming. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Bearman, for co-hosting once again. Tuesday night, we will be back at full strength. Unfortunately, Kurt will not be here because he'll have All in Sports, which will be opposite us and opposite stuff about sports. But Darnell will be back. We'll have a little bit of college. We'll have the recap from week 1 and the week 1 standings of our picks for the week, which will be now a point system. You will get 1 point for a straight up pick. You will get 1 point for the under over and 2 for the betting line. So it's a 4-point system. And at the end of the season, we will have the totals. The one with the most points standing will receive some ArchRivals and Pipe Bomb merch. It's probably going to be about like $100 worth of stuff. So if you truly want to get in and take part in that, make sure you submit our picks. We are taking these picks up till 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. If you submit them after that, we cannot approve them because we have a large workload here at Pain Train Pipe Bomb. But till Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Pipe Bomb Radio NYC, on behalf of the staff and crew here at ArchRivals Football, we will catch you then.
Absolutely.
Hey, did you like that show? Like, share, follow, subscribe. Share out our shows to all of your social media. Need merchandise? Check out paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at great prices. Tune in next time for another edition of ArchRivals Football, and we'll catch you on the flip side.